Shipping containers are great for war games. They're big and blocky and can obscure line of sight and break up the battlefield into multiple areas like a Kit Kat. They're modular and stackable, allowing them to create a multi-tiered fighting arena. And they are quick and easy to make in little or no time at all, so you can realize you've made far too many and wonder, where am I going to put all these? Let's get into it. First things first, find some corrugated cardboard. This can be kind of hard to find, but I use inserts from pan pizza boxes at Domino's. Cut the cardboard into 2-inch by 4-inch rectangles so that the corrugates are going long ways, or short ways, so that the waves are shorter. Cut 3 rectangles per shipping container and 2 2-inch end caps. I prefer a crafty cutter and a pair of scissors. Once those are cut, cover them in a mixture of Mod Podge and black paint. This will provide a base coat and reinforce the paper, making it much stronger. These pizza box inserts aren't normally used for craft supplies. They're normally used for trying to corral a greasy mess, so they should feel right at home working with me. While those dry, cut a copy of each piece out of light chipboard or cereal box to use as backings. This will add even more desperately needed rigidity because on a strength scale, these squiggly pizza squares fall somewhere between dream punches and 1/52nd of a year. Then cut 1-inch strips out of the aforementioned chipboard. Each container will need 4 4-inch strips and 8 2-inch strips. Draw a dotted line down the middle for later. Make sure to make more than you think you'll need, because I had to go back and cut more 3 times. Once cut, score the strips by running the dull side of your blade along the dotted line from earlier. This will make the strips easier to fold in half. When folding, make sure the score is on the outside and fold the strips into a right angle. Now grab a glue gun and the squigglies from earlier and glue on their respective backings. You could use regular school glue for this, but ain't nobody got time for that. Now that the sides are looking thick with 2 C's, glue them together at a right angle and glue the ends in so that the humps are vertical. With the strips from earlier, cut them to size and glue them over all the angles, starting with the long sides, then the short vertical sides, and then the short horizontal sides. The order doesn't change the structure of the piece, but I think it looks the best. Notice that similar to Tim Allen's neighbor, these shipping containers don't have a bottom. This is because they're kind of unnecessary and will cut off the opportunity for a little more storage. And in the world of wargaming, storage is rarer than good hygiene and proper table manners. Now repeat this process as necessary while thinking about how there are probably shipping containers out there with toy ships and toy shipping containers that don't scale together. Now cover everything in another layer of Mod Podge. It's much easier to cover the wavy pizza inserts before gluing on the strips rather than trying to get up into the nooks and crannies like you just turned 40 and made that extra special doctor's appointment. Once dry, cover the first container in English Ivy Green. All the paints I'll be using will be Apple Barrel, unless I'm lying. Set that aside to dry and get a new brush and cover the second container in Admiral Blue while pretending that it didn't take me 14 takes not to say Admirable Blue. Next, use a bottle of Barn Red that may or may not have a clog in it. It did. Lastly, use Pavement for a nice dull black. Next, use Limeade mixed with English Ivy to highlight the green container. Use Aquamarine with that blue that you secretly look up to. Granite Gray works perfectly well with the Pavement. And Diva Pink will make the Barn Red look fabulous. Now grab a stencil that was 2 aisles over from the paint and use Apple Barrel's white to paint on your letters. This is best done by overlaying the stencil and gently stippling with a paintbrush with long and soft bristles. Lastly, realize that I can't be trusted and use Folk Art's Gunmetal Gray, Antique Copper, and that sponge you hid so that you had an excuse not to do the dishes, and dab both colors gently on to give the containers a used and rusty look. Shipping containers are great for wargames, fitting into almost any setting with ease, from shipyards, dockyards, junkyards, front yards, backyards, and even the occasional birthday card. These containers are easy to make and effectively free, excluding a small fortune in hot glue. Have a good one.